Well, I actually started through ASM6, and I actually won a competition to be coached by one of the top Amazon coaches at the time, who was called Jason Fladlin of Rapid Crush. He pretty much coached me one-on-one for my first 3 months. And from then I just progressed really quickly, and after 3 months I was doing 20,000 a month in sales. Pretty much me myself, I never had any experience in internet marketing before. My original career path was medicine, so this was something completely new for me. So we have a pretty sizable amount of data from the products that we've launched. We've really focused on the beauty and the baby category, and we've sold over $1 million worth of products so far. In that time, we've really learned what works and what doesn't work, and we've also learned some really clever ways on how to do it. So I would say we have a good set of data in order to give people the right way to do things first time. So I'm often asked, can you rank any product to the top of page 1? And it's a pretty straightforward answer, and the answer is yes, you can. Really, it just comes from an understanding of how the Amazon A9 algorithm actually works. And there have been some changes over, say, the past 6 months, year or so, but pretty much it's just the same thing. It just needs to be spread out over a longer period of time. And it comes down to your sales, it comes down to your conversion, and it also comes down to how good of a listing you have. All of those things combined will not only rank you to page 1, but will ensure you stay there. So with the recent changes, I'm often asked, how does the Amazon ranking algorithm now work? And the answer is quite simple. Amazon wants to make as much money per visitor as possible. So the best and quickest way to do that is to boost your sales velocity. Now, one thing Amazon have noticed is that because a lot of people have been using coupon codes and trying to game the system, they've spread it out now over a longer period. So before, where you could just give away a bunch of units in a very short period of time and get ranked to page 1, that is no longer as effective as it used to be. So now what we do is we do it over a 14-day period. So it's essentially giving away products at a discount or driving sales of a product in high numbers based on the actual sales that the other sellers who are on page 1 are doing, and just really spreading that out over a 14-day period. That is pretty much the entire process for ranking on Amazon right now. What do the successful Amazon sellers do that is different than anybody else? Well, the first thing I will say is they take consistent, determined action. They don't quit. When issues arise, they push through it. They're focused, and they make sure that they put enough capital in to make the business successful. A lot of people have knowledge, but not a lot of people act on it. And a key part of being successful is to make sure you take action on the knowledge you have. At the Amazon Forum, there's going to be a lot of great information from a lot of great speakers, but not everybody is going to take action on it. And those that do are the ones who are going to be the successful sellers. So in a nutshell, the key to being successful and being one of those top Amazon sellers is taking action and getting the right knowledge. Okay, so for somebody who's just starting out on Amazon and want to know how to do the best launch possible, the real key to doing it is to understand the key fundamental principles of selling on Amazon. And that is, you need to have a good conversion rate and you need to have a good source of traffic. So let's talk about conversions, because if you get ranked but you don't have the good enough conversion rate, you won't stay there. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that your listing has a good set of reviews relative to the other sellers who are at the top of page 1. So for example, if everybody on page 1 has 1,000 reviews or more and you come out there with 10, even if you get ranked, you're not likely to stay there. So it's really important before you do any kind of ranking to make sure your listing looks good, you have good images, you have good sales copy, you've optimized it for keywords, and you've also made sure you have enough reviews relative to the niche you're going into. After that, it's a case of ranking the product. So in order to rank it successfully, you need to really look and see what are the average sellers doing per month, and then break it down to a daily sales velocity for those top sellers. In order to rank, you're going to have to do something similar in terms of sales that they're doing per day at the moment, such as you're going to have to do a giveaway, you're going to have to do a discount, or you're going to have to find a way to really boost the sales for that product. And then you're going to have to spread that out over a 14-day period. From there, you'll want to turn on your sponsored ads and you'll want to optimize it and really just maintain that sales velocity. And that will enable you to have a really good launch and have a ranking that sticks. Okay, so if you want to find out how many units you're going to have to give away to do a launch, essentially what you need to determine is how many sales per day are the top sellers doing right now on page 1. So what I normally do is I look at the top 3 sellers and I look at how many sales they're doing monthly. So you can use different tools for this, such as Market Intelligence from Viral Launch. You can use Jungle Scout. You can also use the Helium 10 magnet tool as well. But essentially what you need to do is find an estimate of how many they're doing per day, and then that's how many units you're going to have to give away per day for a 14-day period. That's what we found has worked best. There have been some changes. Before you didn't need to have to give away for as many days, but we find now 14 days is usually the sweet spot. So what if you don't want to use a ranking service like Viral Launch or something like that to get your product to page 1? Can you still get to page 1 without it? And the answer is of course, because it really comes down to understanding the fundamentals of what Viral Launch is. Viral Launch is essentially a collection of people who will buy the product at a discount with a coupon code. That's essentially what it is. So you need to have some skills in order to do that yourself. So essentially you need to create a funnel, and the funnel will basically be advertising your product at an 80% off or more, and then you will basically drive traffic to that offer. So for example, you would set up a Facebook ad, and then you would just simply drive traffic to that, and you would set up what's known as a storefront super URL. That is a very simple thing to do, which we can go into more detail at a later date. But essentially it's a super URL you would drive traffic to from a Facebook page directly to a funnel and get people to buy the product at a discount. One of the advantages of doing it yourself is you're actually building a mailing list in the process. So that way the next time around you won't have to drive the traffic, you'll already have the traffic from your own list. Okay, so there's been a lot of talk recently about coupon codes not working as effectively as they used to. So some people would like to know, do the coupon codes that are heavily discounted, such as 99% off, 80% off, do they work as well as a smaller discount? So say like a 15 or 20% off. And the answer is, Amazon has kind of clocked on now to these big heavily discounted deals. So they don't actually hold as much weight as say a full price purchase or a very small discount. So if you were to do something at say 15% off or 20% off, I found those types of offers, you have to give away less units. And essentially it's not a giveaway because you can still make profit from it. But to be honest, the most effective way to really rank is from full price purchases. So you can do things like using a rebate club, you can build your own rebate club. That's really what works the best when it comes to ranking in comparison to a heavily discounted coupon code. One thing about Amazon, they do make changes from time to time. That's one thing, if you've been in this business for a while, you've definitely noticed. However, one thing I will say is that Amazon always wants to make the most money possible per visitor to their site. So the key way to do that is to really make sure that people who go to the site buy products that they want, okay? And that's really what they do when it comes to ranking. They want to make sure the products that are at the top of page 1 are the ones making the most sales. So let's say if you're doing a coupon and maybe you're worried if that's going to work long term, One of the great things that we focus on now is rebates. We find rebates are something that is not only going to work today, but it's going to work years from now. And the reason is that Amazon is always going to want to have people buying at full price. And that's always something that's going to really help you to boost your ranking within Amazon itself. So yes, there can be changes in Amazon's algorithm. This can affect ranking through things such as coupon codes. But in all honesty, the best resource you can have is people buying your products at full price. As long as you have that, it doesn't matter what changes Amazon are going to make. Okay, so when it comes to the Amazon Forum, I'm going to be doing a talk on how you can build an online team, develop systems in your company, and develop really high-level communication systems so that you can work less in your business and work more on your business, giving you more freedom, more time to really grow and scale, and also build more revenue using the most high-level tactics that you learn at conferences like this. One of the problems I've noticed with a lot of sellers is because they don't have systems and processes in their business and they don't have a big enough team to manage it, so many great tactics come along that they can't implement simply because they don't have the time and they don't have the resources. My objective from my talk is to empower you to be able to do that through real-world business skills used by the corporate world. That'll allow you to really update the way you run your business, making you a transition from business operator to business owner. So my number one advice for somebody who's getting started in private label, or if somebody who is looking to really build out a brand, whichever one it may be, selling on Amazon, here's my advice. The most important thing for you to really bear in mind is your mindset. It's really important to stay positive. It's really important to take action. A lot of times people have the right information, but because they don't take action, they're not successful. I want you to be successful, and because of that, I want you to understand that 80% of your success is going to come down to your psychology. The other 20% is going to come down to the knowledge you have. At this Amazon Forum, you're going to be hearing from some amazing people who have done some amazing things in this business. So my advice to you is stay positive, take action, be determined, be focused, and really learn from the great people that are going to be at the Amazon Forum.